Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. I cannot believe that this day has come. I have, I don't know how successfully, but I have completed Caroline's Craft Tree collaboration, challenge, whatever the correct term is, CCT 52 2024. Now, of course, at this late stage, I'm not going to get into the details of that because there have been a million videos about it so far. Now, I think, obviously, in a perfect world, I and others would have been doing the challenge a week at a time, a week at a time, a week at a time, times 52. Now, that approach didn't work for me, and quite often I found myself behind the 8 ball and needing to play catch-up. Well, I was bound and determined that I would not let the lights go out on 2024 without me finishing this. I felt like I owed it to Caroline and I owed it to myself. And in fact, even though sometimes I'm sure it felt or sounded like I was dragging my heels on this, I have enjoyed the challenge of it all. And I like the randomness of it because I think it forces creativity. You know, a similar thing is the Marguerite Miller thing, and I did that once or twice. Never for the whole year, though, I'm sure. And I guess the difference between this one and that one is the fact that every single person who is doing this is probably working with different prompts. Whereas the Marguerite Miller one is and they're, certainly not knocking that one. If she has a reputation and a lot of people following that. But in this case, everything is random. So because I have been choosing my own prompts with the roll of the dice. Anyway, enough philosophizing. So one by one, I will show you what I did to get caught up. Okay, so this would be, maybe I should have put these in order, but who cares? I think this was week 51. So it was a paint chip, a hinge. I thought I had little die cut hinges. Looked high and low, couldn't find them. So I found this like a barn door. It was quite a bit wider. I cut the doors down so it would fit on this paint chip. And the other thing was a barcode. So I backed these because of course it wouldn't have been an attractive look otherwise. And then I just stuck this in. So yeah, week 51, this is a dangle. And it was only, excuse me, 2 prompts, barcode and hinge. So I thought that turned out kind of cute. And of course, a safety pin or a ball pin would be added to it. This was week 52, and the one I don't even think I got all the glue off my hands. That's how eager I was to do this video. So this one is an envelope, and the prompts I had were window, stars, washi tape, and machine. Now, ironically, this was an envelope with a window, but I just didn't want to fool around with that. I've had this forever, and I turned this little die cut or punch out window into a side tuck. I had to look in my steampunk box to find something, like to find a machine. And I really like this paper. It came with, it came from the bank we deal with, or the credit union we deal with, one of their annual reports or something. So I used that to cover the envelope. This yellow bit was part of the design. And then I figured, well, we got everything under the sun going color-wise, so why don't I add some orange washi tape there and there. And this, of course, is a vintage sewing machine that somebody turned into like an art installation type thing, an assemblage. Okay, this one. No. This was week 49. So it was a wild card choice on my part. So I picked a pocket. Pick a pocket. Made it smaller by removing some of the bulk in the gusset. Oh, see, I didn't realize that, yeah, I still have all of this. Anyway, doesn't matter. So it was paper bag, frame, so that I chose to be my frame, and I stamped it like so. So it took in the pocket and the background. Frame, back, and T-card. And then I just, and circles that I just stenciled on there and added sort of a, drop shadow. Oh yeah, so I just did the information about the prompts there. I had a scrap of paper that kind of matched what was going on, so I thought that was kind of cool. And this, of course, could be clipped into a journal or whatever. Now, there are a couple rips in the bag, and if I would have had some used Scotch tape nearby, I would have added that too. But, you know, at some point, you just have to say, it's done. Okay, so this one, this was just a 2-prompt thing. So this was week 48, and this is also a dangle. So the prompts were clock and heart. Now, the heart is not a motif that I use a great deal. So I had a scrap of fabric. Love the colors, love the paisley. So I just did what every kid since grade 1 has been doing. Folded it in half and then freehand cut a heart. And then I thought, well, I also have old paper from scrapbooks and so on. And I knew I wanted it to go past the edge of the card. So I thought, well, I should back it. Now, of course, that was pretty weak, fragile paper to back it with. But I did it anyway. It adds another element. It ties that in. And then because I have been working on all my words, all my sentiments, and now have the box kind of within reach, I just dug through and found this stamped word journey. So that is that one. This is week 45. Now, I may have told you at one point, or showed you, that because I couldn't solve the puzzles, I took them out of their packages, and I was sure it was some subscriber that says, well, why don't you turn it into journaling cards? So, I mean, these are all mixed up now, but these are these impossible, I think they're 9 pieces per puzzle, to solve. So I figured, okay, the time is ripe to find one with what was my prompt? Insect. So I picked the dragonfly one, and you can see that every puzzle piece is slightly different. And somehow, with superhuman intelligence, something I clearly don't have, you're supposed to butt these things up together so that they all work. Well, that didn't happen. So you're probably going to see me using more of these. They are fairly, well, they're very substantial. They're not that thick really, but they're rigid. So, but again, at this point, does it really matter? This book has gotten too fat as it is. Anyway, so the prompts were insect, wire, egg, and quote. So, and this was the first one I did in this marathon session. So, quote, no problem. Egg I found with my bird fussy cuts. This was an old price tag kicking around on the desk. This was not a covered button, but I think like a snap or something. And then it took me forever to find a piece of wire. And I'm thinking, how is this possible? Usually I've got half a dozen pieces on my desk, driving me insane because they're so unruly. I don't know what I did with them. Anyway, I also found this little tag that I had obviously used to label a container in the past. So I improvised between braiding and looping and tying. I improvised this kind of, this isn't great. You want something that dangles, not that sticks out. But I did wire. And as I was fooling around with trying to make this work, and I added the bead, and I had to do blah, 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 blah. I'm so hard done by. I was thinking, why didn't I just make a little scrolly thing with wire, glue it down, and call it a day? But no, I had to do the hard part. Make what you do matter. So I tried to. Okay, 3 more to show you. This one was week 46. Now this is a kind of a very big postcard, 367 by 5. The prompt was horse and feather. So you'll probably recognize this as one of those feathers that came in a package from Dollar Tree. I love those feathers. But what I didn't like was the big white border around everything. So I determined that, okay, I'm going to use this postcard. I fussy cut around another feather. And then I thought, oh, that's too big. It would have come, kind of way up here. So then I fussy cut around this one. Made it like a little teeny tuck spot. Anywhere along here you could tuck something in. And then I just added, again, one of my sentiments that had been stamped. Now, I find it very interesting that now that I have my little words kind of sorted, still not perfect, but, getting there, I'm using them. Like, go figure. Okay, what else have we got here? Well, let's do this side first. This was week 47. It's a page. I needed dots, an alphabet, a zipper, and a moon. So, this isn't sticking worth a darn. You know that I have been complaining about how many alphabet stickers I have. And if you're eagle-eyed, you see that I am using 2 different kinds here. So I peeled all these little newsprint ones off, and it was pretty slow going because they didn't stick worth a darn. I ended up having to add glue stick to each one. Then this zigzaggy kind of a thing was a sheet of stickers, and I just sort of, made the edge, the perimeter a little more attractive and glued it down all in one piece. So that's a nice way to use a lot of stickers up. I ended up having to cut down a zipper. The packaging, let me show you. The packaging was so sketchy looking, I didn't know what the heck was going on here. Here's an old masking tape thing. Someone must have sold this at a garage sale or something, 25 cents. Anyway, I didn't know if is that how the packaging was? Is it so evenly stained? What the heck? Anyway, so I opened it up, took the zipper out, and it was a long one. It was 22 inches. But I glued it down. I cut it off where I needed to. Glued it down. I guess I could unzip it. Well, no. Now I have glue on the teeth, so that's not going to work. I added a little bulb pin and a few beads just to make it a little more interesting and to keep this guy down because it kept wanting to flip up. And then my only missing element was the moon. Well, I looked through my bag of blue elements because I thought, well, blue sky, blue moon. You know, surely I'll find a moon in there. No. I have celestial books, many of them intended for children, but I've never deconstructed them. So I wasn't about to just chop into a book to get a picture of a moon. Didn't really know where else I might find one, so I figured the heck with it, I'm just going to draw a moon. So I used a water-soluble, I put it away, one of my Derwent water-soluble watercolor pencils, drew a crescent moon, and then just touched it with the brush pen to, you know, to kind of get that shadowy effect. I don't know if I'm so thrilled with it. Oh, and dots. So then I used a Posca pen to draw dots down one side of the zipper. I mean, it fulfills all the obligations of the prompt, so I'm happy with that. And then the final one was another page. Now here, this was week 50, page, so store item, seam binding, button, brad, and lace. So I looked through my pink envelope of images. This isn't sticking very well either. I've tried gluing this down a couple of times, but you know, it's that whole gluing onto lace thing. So I found this box of Valentine candy, and I thought, well, that came from a store, so that's how I'm interpreting store item. I had this nice flat, wide, flat pink lace, so I did that first, then I glued this down. I cut got a little bit of glue popped out there. I had a little bit of difficulty. Okay, this is a brad, but I cut the little prongs off, the little two sets of, or the two little prongs, because otherwise it would have come through, obviously, into my other completed page. Well, I'll be glad when these nails are, of course, by the time you see this, I will have had my appointment already. Anyway, the brad says, I love shopping, which I thought was kind of apropos. I just ruffled with glue some seam binding, and then I glued down a button at the top of it just to pull it all together. And that, Caroline, and whoever else is watching this, is my completed. Let me bring all the other things nearby that are loose and still need to find a place in the journal. Look at all these things. And look at all these things. And I still don't know, oh, and this is loose. And that's loose. I still don't know where I was supposed to put that, this girl here, this mermaid. So, anyway, I did have fun doing this. So, I guess I could try to squeeze this page, or this page in here. I had gone through the last time I was working on these prompts and pulled out all the pages that, because I didn't know how many I was going to need for the course of the year. Oh, so that guy could come out, save a little space. I thought I got them all. And I think by now most of them are done on both sides. So again, where I'm going to find space for all these. Oh, I could put something in here. Anyway, I'm not going to do this with you because clearly the pile is pretty big. But I could put something here. You know, again, the dangle might not be that the couple of dangles might not be that easy. Oh, this is just a wrap around. Well, whatever. I'm not going to. I'll solve this problem without you. Whoopsie. So again, it's been fun. I haven't heard one way or the other whether Caroline is doing this again next year. But I would presume that she probably is in her brand new studio. The last video I watched of hers, she was still, you know, working on kind of a makeshift table and so on. But, you know, it's always fun to get new stuff and set it up the way you want to. Anyway, guys, it has been a slice, and it also means that 2024 has come to an end. So I did tape a Happy New Year. But where did I schedule that? Okay, I guess it's actually January 1st. So I hope you tune in for that. It's heartfelt. Anyway, guys, we will see you in the new year. Yay! Bye.